School counsel. Recommendation to allow superintendent to seek legal counsel when necessary and with firm most appropriate. Do I have a motion? Mr. Bielo? Second? Mr. Ward? Mrs. Green?
I'm not in favor of this motion because I believe the board should have foreknowledge before seeking legal counsel. And one situation in particular leads me to this. There was a situation where I believe the SAU sought legal counsel on an issue that was related to the Timberlane School Board, and the client-attorney privilege was between the SAU and the attorney and not the school board and the attorney. I would like to make sure that never happens and that the school board is always authorizes the expenditure of funds for legal counsel, because in my experience there has nothing been there is nothing that critical that can't wait for a board meeting when it's legal counsel. So I think it's important that the board retain the ability to approve or deny the ability of the superintendent to seek legal counsel on behalf of the school board.
All right. That's actually not been my experience, but maybe you could speak to what do you think the practicality of that?
Well, I mean, whether I do it in capacity of the SAU, or whether I do it in the capacity of Hampstead, or whether I do it in the capacity of Timberlane. Right now, the SAU is really on the superintendent of two districts, so I already have this authority
Right.
two other places, but
But I was speaking actually specifically to the concept of retaining an attorney without the express permission of the board each and every time.
I believe Mrs. Green's comment was more
Am I wrong?
about seeking advice for the board, and typically when that happens, when I'm seeking advice for the board, that typically comes from the chair. The chair calls and says, would you please, right?
Correct.
And so,
Is that what you were speaking to? Which of us, we seem to not have heard the same thing.
Okay, as I understand it, the board chairman has no authority outside of meetings, so the board chairman should not be directing anyone to seek legal counsel unless there has been a vote of the board.
And in addition to that, are you stating that the superintendent should not be authorized to seek counsel without the permission of the board each and every time he so chooses?
That is correct.
That's what I thought you said.
okay, I heard it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can just tell you that makes absolutely no sense, because things happen. There's personnel matters, there's special ed matters, there's things that require an immediate reaction from legal before we're able to move. And when we have 2 weeks or the summer in between meetings, it's not practical.
Right. I agree based on my observation of district business over the past 5 years. I would, that would be my observation. But Mrs. Green has a concern. Do you wish to make a motion to change this? I want to, see if there are others who might agree.
Yes, I would amend the motion. Is there a motion on the table? What exactly is the motion, please?
The motion,
Just as written, to allow the superintendent to seek legal counsel when necessary and with a firm most appropriate.
Okay, so I would like to amend it to state, while always retaining while the district always retains the lawyer-client confidentiality or relationship, the lawyer-client relationship, and only in matters of personnel without prior board approval.
So does anyone want to
Based on the
second that?
motion?
Sure.
So even if, just so you know, that I'd be able to do it in my capacity as the SAU superintendent, irregardless of how this vote goes.
Okay. Would anyone like to second that? So there being no second, we'll keep the motion on the floor, recommendation to allow superintendent to seek legal counsel when necessary and with firm most appropriate. If there are no other questions or concerns? I'll move the question. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, next, bonding. Recommendation to bond the treasurer and assistant